What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Hologram. I want to go over some of the current data points, what just came out from Hologram, and what that means for investors. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, it is down 21.08%, 27 cents a low, 28.9 is the high. And basically kind of low volume, so 39.9 is that volume, 63.3 is the average. So you're not really seeing that many entities out there willing to buy Hologram or buy the dip. If anything, you're seeing a lot of selling. So there was one transaction occurring on the secondary market above $100,000 today for $122,000, and like I said, it is a sell. The reason why entities are selling is because of this, what came out after hours yesterday. So they did announce the official results for the meeting. Like I said, all of this was already kind of known and posted on Reddit for someone who actually did, I guess, listen in on the actual call. So we already know it was approved, but what this document does state is the date. So ultimately, if we kind of scroll down here, right over here, so October the 9th, 2024, that is when the reverse stock split is going to be enforced. So at least they're giving sufficient time. So that means a lot of brokers will have the new CUSIP number. So that means you'll be able to trade it and everything day one. Typically, some companies like to leave it last minute, only do the required 48 hours notice. And that usually does kind of screw up some brokers, some foreign brokers. And that way some entities and whatever won't be able to trade it. So at least they're giving sufficient amount of time. So that's maybe a positive if you want to think about a positive, at least glass half full kind of scenario. But all of these proposals that, or I guess were proposals, all were worded very weird. And in my opinion, I think it's just because of them being a Chinese company. But ultimately, this is a 1 for 20 reverse stock split. So that does kind of add to this. So they did a 1 for 10 in February. That also was to rectify a deficiency. So obviously now a 1 for 20 adding to the mix. So the ratio within the last 2 years is a 1 for 200. So at least they're still good with the NASDAQ, right? Because 1 for 250 seems to be their pivot point. If you Google excessive reverse stock splits with the NASDAQ based on the rulings, if a company is over that threshold, then that means they're not allowed any extensions. But that's why Hologram did choose strategically a 1 for 20, just to be below that. So again, going forward, I know that's already starting to think about the foreseeable future, but if they are deficient again in the future, then they will be given a grace period of roughly 180 days. So again, that's kind of a positive, but ultimately a 1 for 20 reverse stock split. And so in case you guys do not know, just take your shares. Ultimately, your book value and everything will be the same. But your actual shares will go down by 20. So just take your shares divided by 20, your average, take that times by 20. And there you go. That's your kind of new average and your new number of shares. Aside from that though, one thing that I do not like is this. I kind of highlighted it, but whenever a reverse stock split does happen, it affects everything. So it affects outstanding shares, authorized shares, everything. But by them getting this approved, they also did raise the authorized shares. So it's going to be knocked down by 20 and then raised. So yeah, I think it's a crappy scenario. And the reason why they're doing that is to accommodate for all of these notes. And so we already do know based on their last earnings how detrimental that the notes are, the conversions, very damaging on the stock price. And that isn't even factoring in all these recent notes. So the reason why they're raising the authorized share count is for all of this conversion. So like I said, any investor holding it right now, like your equity, regrettably, is going to get decimated. And I'm not here to kind of shame anyone or whatever. If you guys believe in the company, have at it. Based on my video yesterday, right before this news did come out, I said the only way to really make money on Hologram is to use this right here, and that is to analyze the volume. So whenever you do see spikes up, such as this day or these several days, that is conversions, so dilution happening. Nothing wrong with that. Well, it's kind of wrong if you're holding it. You're going to get screwed. But if you start to analyze this early, then essentially you can make money as it does go up due to dilution. And you guys can always refer to the conversion notes and why it does go up during dilution points. And so I've already covered that in previous videos, but yeah, ultimately, it's an interesting piece of news. Again, this was kind of the writing on the wall. A lot of optimistic individuals were assuming that they were going to just go up naturally and kind of fix that deficiency. But like I said, the only reason why Hologram does go up, any stock for the most part that has toxic debt and it goes up without any news, is dilution. So once again, you guys do your own due diligence. If you guys believe in the company, then have at it. Like I said, I do believe that the company has a lot of cash. They could do something, but if they don't, if they stay quiet, then they are just, it's a crappy scenario. It's just going to continue to trend down and down. So in my opinion, I know this is kind of a cold statement, but I'm surprised shorts aren't all over this. This is a pretty big, easy win if you ask me, but shorts are right now increasing 153,000 shares. 6.12% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 6.22 million shares. And just to answer a hot topic question, a lot of people, in my opinion, like to spin reverse stock splits and say, hey, this is when we are going to squeeze. I don't believe that to be the case, only because Hologram isn't even heavily shorted. So that's kind of point number one. Point number two, and you can kind of refer to this DTC as 0.13 days. So it's not heavily shorted whatsoever. Point number two, if a reverse stock split does happen to a stock that potentially might have a lot of naked shorting, or it might be on the threshold list, then yes, you could see a corresponding bump up in the stock price. But like I said, that is not relevant for Hologram given the current circumstances. But still, if you guys want to believe that, then so be it. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to get you guys to sell nor to buy. I'm just interpreting the data, and so far I've been very accurate. A lot of people have trouble kind of accepting what I have to say, because sometimes I'm not here to kind of appease people. I just say it how it is. And if it's not what you want to hear, some people hate on it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Hologram. What's your thoughts on the reverse stock split? Did you think that they were going to fix it naturally? And are you guys investing on the long term, or are you guys just swing trading it? What's your guys' thoughts on Hologram? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. It does give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Link to this is in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you guys watching.